Hello, everyone. Welcome to Smart Investors. This is a new show for you. I'm Pati Perez. Today, I'm with Alfonso Barrera. We want to talk to you about the legal side of moving to Mérida. Alfonso has a very long experience in this, so thank you. Thank you, Alfonso, for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, so in case you don't know, we have a big foreign community in Yucatan. We have Canadians, Americans, Europeans. I mean, people from every place in the world seems to find Yucatan. So, and many of them, once they're here, they fall in love with Mérida. They want to move, they want to invest, they want to spend so much time here. So, throughout my experience in real estate in Yucatan, I've been able to work with people from different countries, and they seem to have the same concerns, the same questions. So today what we're going to do is try to answer them all with the help of Alfonso. So again, Alfonso, thank you so much for being here with me and help me answer the most common questions of all those people who are interested in Yucatan. I usually get clients that I insist are on vacation. They fall in love with the city, the life, the people, everything, so they want to buy. So one of my first questions for you would be, do foreigners can buy property as tourists?
Yes, they can. They can buy as tourists. They don't need to be residents or Mexicans.
Okay. And can they, I mean, in order to buy a house, they need a bank account. So
It's preferable. It's not mandatory, but it's preferable.
Okay.
But as tourists, the problem they're going to have is that there's only one bank who will accept them as tourists to open the bank account. I mean, it's possible there's that one bank, but other than that one bank, there's no other bank who will open them an account as tourists.
Okay, so they can only with one bank, but they can do it.
Yes.
Okay, so something you need to know is that foreigners can't buy property 50 kilometers from any beach in Mexico. So that means that if you want to buy property in Mérida, you need a bank trust or a corporation. So can you explain to us, please, the difference between the bank trust and the corporation?
Of course. First, I'm going to explain a little bit what the bank trust is so we can understand a bit better the main difference between that and the corporation. A bank trust is basically a contract in which a bank or a trust institution lend you their name to buy property, to bypass that prohibition from our constitution for foreigners to acquire 50 kilometers from the beach. So it's a contract, just like it will be a trust fund or a real estate trust in the United States, is something of that matter where the trust institution will have the ownership, but you as trustee will have the use, the benefits, the obligations, and pretty much everything as an owner, as a physical person. A corporation, is formed by two or more people.
Okay.
And there's one corporation who's formed with one person, but it has too many limitations. So it's from two persons and on, and technically it's for commercial purposes.
Okay.
Foreigners have been using it to acquire property that is residential, but it has many. It presents many challenges. Okay. So the main difference first is the type of contract. One is a moral person that you're forming. It's a new person. It's a Mexican person that you're forming. And the other one is a contract that you do with a trust institution. The main difference is that the corporation can buy many other properties without having to form a new corporation. Same corporation can buy many other properties. Yes. And the fideicomiso, you have to form one each time you want to buy a property. And another pretty big difference is that when you sell the properties with the corporation, you have to keep the receipts, fiscal receipts, and pretty much everything, trying to use them as write-offs to lower the amount of tax that you're going to pay for the profit that represents the sale of a property. While with the trust, if you become a resident, you can avoid the capital gains taxes like a Mexican. So that's a big difference.
Okay.
And the other thing is that once you sell the property with a fideicomiso, the fideicomiso ceases to exist, for you at least. And with the corporation, if you sell the property, the corporation still remains there. Unless you sell the share stock of the corporation,
Okay.
the corporation will stay there. And to cancel the corporation will cost almost twice as much as to form it.
Okay.
So those are the main differences.
Okay. And I hear this question a lot. I mean, when it goes to trust, who owns the property?
Legally, the bank is established as owner.
Okay.
But during the whole deed of fideicomiso, who has like 34 pages, it established that, yes, although the bank is the owner, his only right is to receive his yearly fee. Yearly fees of banks goes from $450 to $550.
Okay.
$450 to $550 approximately a year. That's his only right. All the other rights, and that's the only obligation of the trustee with the bank. All the other rights are from the trustee. Nobody can enter the house.
Okay.
They are the only ones who can sell it. They are the only ones who can get a profit. Pretty much, if they don't pay the utilities, nobody will. Pretty much is like if they were the owners. The only difference is that on the deed and on the cadastral cedula, the owner will appear, and the owner part will show the bank's name. Yeah.
Okay. So what I'm hearing from you, tell me if I'm wrong, it's if you want to come to Merida, buy and live here, maybe the best choice for you it's the trust.
If the property is less than 2,000 square meters, because that's the limit of the fideicomiso, and if what you want is a residential property, yes, the fideicomiso. Even if you want to rent the property, you want to give it for rent or put it on Airbnb, the fideicomiso is perfect. If you want to buy a property, a big property to put a business like a hotel or restaurant, something like that, or do you want to flip properties or buy multiple properties at once, then the corporation may be for you.
Okay. You were talking about costs. So which one it's expensive or?
Actually, in the early stages, it costs the same. To form the fideicomiso than to form the corporation pretty much costs the same. The difference is, like I said, that you only form one corporation to buy multiple properties, and with the fideicomiso you have to form one each time.
Yes.
If we talk numbers, let's say approximately $2,500, approximately more or less, for the corporation or for a fideicomiso. This is what the bank charges. Fideicomiso, and this is the cost of a corporation from the beginning to the final part of the formation. And like in the fideicomiso, you pay your yearly fee of let's put $500 a year. With the corporation, you have to pay an accountant, which pretty much is going to be around that.
Okay. And what about timing? Which one is faster?
It's pretty much takes the same amount of time, but it's easier. It could be faster to form a fideicomiso than a corporation, because a corporation, you have to inscribe it in the public registry of commerce. You have to get the tax ID number that require an appointment in the Mexican IRS, which right now are quite difficult to get. Then you have to get the electronic signature of the corporation, and finally you have to open a bank account for the corporation, which corporate bank accounts right now are taking 2 to 3 weeks to be formed. So corporation can definitely take longer than the fideicomiso, although for special cases or the documents of the property are not in place, it can take pretty much the same 3 months approximately. But the corporation definitely is longer.
Okay. So let me tell you all about this last story that Alfonso and I have with these clients, so you get to know what you can do and what is happening in Yucatan. I had a couple, they came on vacation. They came from Miami. They were only going to be here for 2 weeks. They fell in love with Centro, with downtown Merida. So they asked me, contact me, they asked me to find a house, and they wanted to buy. So I contacted Alfonso, and he helped me with, they went to the bank, this one bank, they got an account. They transfer money from the U.S. and they have a house. Now, we made everything. But I want to explain to you that, for example, they made a down payment when they were in the U.S. They signed the papers, right? And they sent it to us.
Yes, that's correct.
And now they have to come, right, to sign the final papers.
They have two options. They can either come, which they choose to come and sign the final papers, or they can sign a power of attorney from the United States and send it to us. It's up to them. These particular clients decide that they want to come for closing, so they're coming, yeah.
So they can buy houses in Yucatan without being in Yucatan?
Yes, we have clients who have never actually seen the place.
Okay.
That actually looked online, they love it, and they decide they want to buy it, and everything they did it from the place where they live, United States or Canada or pretty much anywhere in the world, and they did it through powers of attorney. We have escrow accounts, so we can receive the money and make the payments on their behalf. So it's pretty much because you don't need to be a resident to buy.
Okay.
And you can buy as tourist. It's quite simple to do it. You don't actually need to do anything to buy other than to form the fideicomiso, and you don't need to be here to do it.
Okay, so that's big. And probably you're asking, why would I want to buy a property in Yucatan? We have several reasons. One, there are people making money here. I mean, prices are going around 20 to 30% a year. We're talking about downtown Merida or the beach and north of Merida. And second, we have people that love to be in Merida, to retire in Merida. So that's why you would want to buy in Merida. And as you can hear, you don't have to be here. So, okay. So that answers the next question that I had, which was, do you need a residence to buy? So you said, no, you can buy as tourist.
Yes.
And we will have talked about the cost of corporation. One other question I have, it's, do you need a Mexican in order to have a Mexican corporation, like a partner in the corporation?
That's a big myth. And that goes around social media and on websites and many people ask us that because they have read it somewhere or somebody told them that you need a Mexican as partner to form a Mexican corporation, and that's something that some not honest people used to use to enter a corporation. You don't need a Mexican partner. You can form a corporation with the two foreigners as partners.
Okay.
The only thing is that if you as a partner, if you're not a resident to form a corporation, you're going to need either a Mexican proxy or a foreign proxy with a resident card.
Okay.
So you need a Mexican or a resident as a proxy, so that proxy can inscribe the corporation in a Mexican address, can get the electronic signature of the corporation, and eventually own the bank account, because some banks won't allow you to sign in behalf of the corporation if you're not a resident. Some would, but some will not. So that's why you need a proxy. Big difference between needing a Mexican partner owning share of stock, part of the corporation, that a proxy, because a proxy you can cancel at any time, change him at any time or her at any time, while with a partner it's like
get in trouble.
Exactly. And it's like if they were putting money or have any interest in the corporation when they don't. So yeah, definitely you don't need a Mexican partner. If anything, you will need a proxy that again doesn't have to be Mexican, it can also be a resident.
I would like to have this information clear. So, as you said, it takes about 2 months to have a corporation, maybe
no, a
2 to 3?
can take, at corporation, I would dare to say it's 3 to 4 months.
Okay. So, in the meantime, can they buy properties?
Yes, in the early stages of forming a corporation. I mean, they don't have to wait. In a perfect world, you will buy the property once the corporate bank account is open. But that takes, like we said, it can take up to 4 months. So as soon as the corporation is formed and inscribed in the Mexican Registry of Commerce, and with the tax ID number, the corporation can appear in legal documents because it already exists. It has a personality. So it can appear in legal documents to buy property.
Okay.
Of course, there's a series of contracts that we're going to have to do later on between partners and corporation to justify the way it's going to be paid, because the money to buy that property is going to come from the account of the partners and not from the bank account of the corporation. It can definitely be done, but there's a legal plan that goes along with it. It's doable.
Okay, so that gets me to another question, because I've seen it. I mean, these foreign people can sign, I don't know the translation of a promesa of compraventa. Can they do that as foreigners? Or is that legal or illegal, or?
It's perfectly legal. It's a promissory contract of sale.
Okay.
Well, it's a promissory contract of forming a fideicomiso, basically.
Okay.
And that's why they can do it. What they cannot sign, or what it will be, not illegal, but what it will be a contradiction to sign, is a promise of sale. In Spanish, promesa de compraventa. Yeah. Why? Because a compraventa or a sale is not something that they can do as foreigners.
Yes.
So there has to be a promissory contract to form a fideicomiso over a property.
Get it.
And instead of calling it promissory buyer or promissory seller, it's promissory trustee and promissory trust giver. So it has different names, but which are the legal titles that they will have. But they can definitely sign as foreigners and as tourists a promissory contract of sale.
Okay, because I've seen it, so please be careful.
Yeah.
Please contact Alfonso. I mean, we're going to have his information. He's been working with foreign people forever, so he knows the way to work with you. I mean, it's so different the way we work in Mexico, but Alfonso and his team understands how to do it for you guys. So please contact him. Okay, but what about the people that want to move to Mérida? I mean, the first question that I can think of is, how long can they have to be living how long can they live in Mérida with a tourist?
Well, the law has a limit of 180 days, but immigration agents can decide how much to give you. That's why they ask you what are you coming to the country, etc. So they can give you any amount of days that they can decide. Usually, most common is 180 days, and the maximum is 180 days. But once they realize, and this is happening lately, that you're going back and forth, they start to give you less and less days. Sometimes they only give you 7 days, sometimes they will give you 10 days. Because what they want you is that if you're coming so often, that you file for residency to stop just getting in and out. Once they know that, they realize, they see the stamps that you're going back and forth very often. But technically, or the longer the law allows, is 180 days.
Okay. And when it's the time they have to apply next to that situation to a temporary visa? And then a residence?
The residency there's two types of residencies, temporary and permanent. The difference is that the temporary you have to renew every year.
Okay.
And after the 4th year, you can go to permanent. And it's based on income. And the decision if it's temporary resident or permanent is being taken on the Mexican consulate when they apply. The law doesn't say that there's no an age thing or any kind of requirement other than income. Technically, just with income, you should be able to qualify for permanent, but consulate has these inner protocols, which, by the way, each consulate has makes its own decisions. It's not like one general thing, and they have made this decision or this rule, which is implied because it's nowhere to be seen, that if you don't have an advanced age or are retired, they will not give you the permanent residency. They give you the temporary. Right. So you file for residency. Like I said, it's based on income. The process is you file in the Mexican consulate where you live. You present you show your income by presenting your bank statements or your savings account, or even the documents. If you already own property here, you can use that to show what you use that money for. And then once it's approved, they put a sticker on your passport. And from there, you have 6 months to come to Mexico to exchange that sticker for your card. And once you get into the country, you have 30 days to start the process of exchanging that sticker for your card.
Okay.
So here in Mexico, in the immigration offices, depending on where if you already have a property, depending on where you buy it, the beach or Merida, you can exchange, do the canje, how's it called? Is that how the process is called? From the sticker to your card. Usually it takes, like in Mexico, it takes a week and a half right now, but we have times from the year when it can take up to 3 to 4 weeks, depending on how busy immigration is and that they have enough plastic to print cards, because sometimes they run out of plastic, believe it or not. And so that's the process. And there's a program that is right now in place, but we don't know when it's going to be over. So be very careful. Check before, because last year was in place and they take it away and then they put it back again. Where if you're here and your tourist visa expired, you can apply from here directly for the visa.
Okay.
But that was done because of COVID. So if you were here and cannot leave because of fear of flying, COVID and everything, you could apply. But that's a temporary program. I don't know how long will be in place. Right now it is available, but I don't know for how long.
Is it expensive to all this?
No, I don't think it's expensive. I don't think it's expensive. The process in the Mexican consulate costs like $120. The cost here in terms of how much you have to pay in immigration, it's around 6,000 to 7,000 pesos, and a fee for a representative is around 6,000 pesos. So I think all in all, you'll be talking about 16,000 pesos. So I don't think that to become a resident of a country that can be considered expensive.
Okay.
I cannot even begin to tell you how much it will cost to become a resident of the United States or Canada in terms of legal costs and everything. So yeah, I don't think it can be considered expensive.
Okay, so I would like you to please tell everybody what can you do for them. I mean, what does you and your team can do for them in all these subjects you have been working?
Well, Easy Legal Mexico, which is the company that I formed with my partner Francisco, can been doing. In fact, we have dedicated separately for over 20 years to work with foreigners and customers from other countries to help them form their fideicomisos, form their corporations, help them to file for the immigration, rent contracts, living wills, pretty much everything that is related to the legal services that the foreign community can require. We have offices in Merida. We have a brand new office in Campeche. We have offices in Quintana Roo and in Los Cabos. So we have in all those places people and offices and the tools to help you buy the property or rent the property or to form a corporation to start a business. Our team is full with people that is bilingual, English speaking, that has been around the same business that we have our staff for quite a while. And we are pretty up to date in what's going on in the new laws, because every year changes, every year has new things, and can tell you from the get-go the challenges that will represent what you want to do in a country, and especially when you want to buy, when you're going to buy a property, because it's very, very important to review the documents of the property and the background of the property, and to make sure that you're not buying something that you're going to regret later.
Yeah.
So that's what we've been doing, and that's what we do right now, and we're here to help them. So.
Okay. So thank you so much for being here with me, for helping me do this. And thank you guys for watching this. Please follow me on social media, and if you want for me to talk about something in special, please contact me. Thank you so much, and bye-bye.